Good afternoon, this is Bob from Trade Genius. It's the 9th of January, and I want to go over some charts. I'm going to start with SPY since I kind of led off with my last video talking about the VIX, and we got a on Friday got a sell signal. I went short with some futures, and then today we gapped down, and it's been pretty weakish all day as weakness goes anymore in this market. But we also got a signal to sell some credit spreads. We did that. They look like they're gonna end up profitable. And just so everybody knows, I'm starting to record those on the site. I'm also releasing those out to subscribers for people that like to trade the spread. We have a pretty highly reliable signal that tells us to put these trades on, and looks like by tomorrow I'll be able to take it off with the minimum profit I like to make on those trades. We're in for 140 per 10 contracts. I like to make 110, 120. So if tomorrow's weakness translates, we'll be able to close that trade out. Expires on Friday, and make the money I want to make on it. So, but I think I think this week's a bit of a turnaround. We have the inauguration coming up. We have the earnings coming up. We have Yellen going to be yakking about how tough she is, and just as I said before, the globalists do not want Trump to show any kind of success, that there's another way other than their way, and I think they're going to throw reducing liquidity at him, and everything that doesn't work perfectly, they're just going to say it's because of his policies. So I think we're going to have a rough go of it, and he's not going to back down. So at some point, I think volatility is going to return in a big way, which is great for us because it just makes it really much easier to actually to trade versus these small dips and rampathons and then reversals. So, but anyway, right now, so I'm expecting if SPY rolls over and gets back down below this downtrend line that was violated, then it's to me it's a failure, and I'm still looking at below 220 to get back into this channel here, and then it can move down all the way to 180. The pivot for the year is around 210, so I think we'll visit that. So if things go as I'm expecting, we'll hit 225, we'll go down to 223, we'll hit 220 area, and then hit 210. And I don't know if be a straight line, but that's kind of my thinking right now. And but I'm taking it day at a time, and just taking these quick trades as I can. And then speaking of VIX, is that they gapped it up this morning, which was nice, and then they tried to sell down at the end. They started to roll it back up again. We'll see on this, but I just think that we hit the double bottom, and I'm just really surprised more people haven't put puts on yet. So, but I'm looking for a double here, and that's my play. And there's nothing that has dissuaded me from today's action that we're not going to get a push higher in the VIX. And what's giving me comfort, actually, I'm going to switch on you here because this is the reason why gold is going up. Is we went back into FXY again, back in at 82, 87, and I think this trade is unwinding. So what I'm looking for here is at least 85 and up to 90 at some point, and that's just going to drive gold higher. I haven't put a signal out on gold because it's the price is high, and buying IAU when I have 3 miners and 2 of them are high beta miners. I think we had enough leverage in the signals for people to make some good money. So I'm just sitting back and waiting to see if this bangs its head against this resistance coming up here. If it comes back down to here, then I'd be looking to take a position, and I'll call out some calls and puts on these as options for people so we can make some money on being a little leveraged. But right now, just kind of waiting to see for the first good pullback and let it go. Now, of course, having said that, it'll probably just go. We'll never go back in, but we have miners, so we'll still profit from that. And speaking of which, here's the miners that I own, or I should say, well, at least I'm owning, and I'm suggesting people that they should probably buy them too. Is that to me this this is a nice little triangle here, then we bust back over 21, we're going much higher. And so SLW is my favorite stock to own. That's why I call it out versus only ETFs. And I think it's going to do really well once it gets back over 21. And I'm trying to build a large position in it again for myself. But it's on a buy signal that has not yet been stopped out, and it's already rewinding its momentum. And then I'm looking forward to get on the other side of this fib line for us to really get going. SILJ is another one, and it's held up. It's above our stop, and it's rewound, and we'll see if we can break out back over 14 on this thing. And then the other one I own is AG, and I'm looking for AG to complete its cup and handle. It's testing it again, and I'm looking for this thing to lift over to 1050. What else I want to show you is we bought BIS today, totally speculative. So don't expect to see it in the performance thing. I call it out. I don't have anything short and it's leveraged. But I know people are trying to find some short things to own, and so I said, hey, speculative trade is BIS 3116. I called it out at. It had that big arrow down, hit a buy trigger for me, kind of retraced back up. But I think this move here is exhausting itself, and so I'm looking for it retrace down, make money on BIS, and see if we get more out of this. Then has not filled its gap below 58 and 55, and I'm expecting it to do that. And then one other thing that we own that we're not profitable is in UNG. Is got a buy signal on it. I bought this buy signal here when it came about. It banged its head on this moving average, and then it just rolled a gap down. Thursday we'll have our next report on the on storage. The whole narrative here is the things are getting warmer, but the January thaw is going to be short-lived. And even if we get stopped out of this trade, we'll buy it again, because it's going to be very, very cold again going into the end of January and into February. And I think it's just going to really rock natural gas higher. So if we get stopped out, it may move down, fill the rest of the gaps here in the low sevens, and we'll hop back in and go. If not, if it just goes and leaves those gaps behind, then we're in the trade. And let's see, anything else I want to show you. I think that's pretty much it for today. So we're pretty much in the minors and some short positions, and then XIV I want to show you is I think it's now at a point, it's just so far over VWAP. We got to sell, we got a lower high on the momentum, and this is a divergence. So I'm expecting this thing to come down pretty good into here, all the way down into here if things get a little nasty. But I automated a signal. I'm going to be testing it over the next couple months with some of my subscribers to see if it's going to be valuable to them. But and then we're going to release it to everybody. I trade this personally, so I know the trade works, and I'm just testing out actually the mechanics of the signal itself. It's going to come right from my software, and that way it won't rely on me even be looking at it. If it hits, you're going to get the signal. And so I don't have to monitor it second by second, and this is my number one trade. And as we talk through this, I have 5 or 6 trades that I always take. So I'm always taking XIB on a big swing. I have it on the shelf now with VIX at 11. I just don't want to be in the trade. I'll trade VXX call spreads, SPY call spreads, and UVX buy puts. And XIV, I'm always in for these trades, and I'm trying to break those out and share those with you guys, because that's the bulk of my portfolio, and then the rest of them are the ETF trades that I point out. And then obviously, I have the non-trading items that are really revolving around the food stocks, which I talked about when I started Trade Genius. So that's that. And looking for hopefully some more weakness tomorrow. We'll see if we get a turnaround Tuesday. The market, I just saw sold down a little bit after the reopened, which is interesting, and we'll see if what happens when Japan opens. See if we get any follow through on this. But we're down. I don't know, 12, 13 some points from Friday's high, and we'll see. Look like maybe another 10 points down, and then they may try to reverse it. But if it's the start of a nice sell-off, then this is the week to do it. Second week of the month, and all the changes going on in Washington. Anyway, I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Sorry for the late end of the video ramble here, but I think things are getting exciting for us now in trading. Thanks. Bye.